Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live. My name's Luqman Shadrack, all the way from the Cape Town studios, a rainy and wet Cape Town. I hope you're keeping well wherever you are in the country. Thanks for joining us on channel 347 on Hilaal TV. As we do on a Thursday, we invite our IT guru back in studio to chat about all things tech related. I'd like to welcome Brother Ismail Kajee. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Brother Luqman.
Jazakallah so much for affording us your time once again. The show's building lovely momentum where people are very interested in the advice that you're giving. Now, last week we chatted a bit more about what personal computer to buy, PC, laptop, that type of thing, whatever you need to function and make that function for your work. Let's recap from last week on purchasing a personal computer and what our viewers need to look out for.
Yeah, so basically, from just to recap on last week, they've got to match the needs to the requirements on what they need to purchase on a laptop. For example, if it's a normal user that's just doing email, that's just doing browsing, they would go for a lower spec machine. They would, if it's a graphic designer or more intense user, high performance user, they make sure they go for extra RAM.
Okay.
The important part would be the solid state drive. That's the most important part there. Screen size, making sure that they take the extended warranty. And the weight of the laptop, considering battery power. So that's just a recap on that.
Great. So very important. You need to identify what the needs that you're going to require this computer for before you actually go and purchase one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you may buy a lower spec and it may not be necessary or available, or, you know, for software updates, things like that. So very important that you don't waste your money.
Or you purchase a laptop which is way over spec and it's an overkill for what you actually need. So you're spending much more money than what you actually need to.
Absolutely. Let's now that we've covered the hardware, right? Does the laptop come with all the necessary software? Example, you know, things like Office that we use on a regular basis, things like antivirus, or does this something that we need to purchase?
So that's a very good question. People tend to buy laptops, and when they walk into a store or they place an order for a laptop online, the laptop arrives and they got to set the laptop up themselves. Once they set the laptop up, they realize that it comes with a trial version of Microsoft Office,
right?
Which means that in the next 90 days, they need to purchase an Office license. So they sit with a dilemma with, I thought it came with Microsoft Office. Now I have to purchase additional license. So do they purchase a license that's a standoff license that costs thousands of rand, or one standalone license, or do they purchase an Office 365 subscription annually, monthly, or annually? So they're stuck with a cost over there which they didn't know about. So it's kind of like a hidden cost with a warranty as well, you know.
Sure.
Antivirus normally as well comes with a 30-day. Some come with a 1-year antivirus. So they got to just make sure on the software aspect of it that they check with the vendor or where they're buying at the retailer that it comes with either the full package of the software or a trial version of the software. So they're not left with a surprise at the end of 90 days that they need to buy a license.
Yeah, and then you also make your computer, viable to some of the viruses that are out there, that could harm your information that you've worked so hard to put on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important as well. So antivirus is very important. Now, I know a little, but I'm sure you're going to elaborate here as well. What's the difference between maybe Microsoft Office, 365, I think it is, and Google, right? And do we use Microsoft or Google Workspace for, to collaborate our email? Maybe run through that for us.
So Microsoft, it used to be called Office 365. Now it's Microsoft 365 because the productivity tools has enhanced, increased, and same as with Google. So it's Google used to be called Google Suite. Now it's called Google Workspace.
Right.
So, and then you got your personal accounts as well. So with regards to Microsoft and Google, they are platforms. It all depends where you are at. For example, if you are a single user, you carry on with either your Microsoft account, with your Outlook account, or you carry on with your personal Gmail account. But if you're a business user or you're an employee, you will either be, depending on your organization and your organization's needs and what their requirements are, they either go with Microsoft 365 or they go with Google Workspace. So Microsoft and Google Workspace, they merely they work with regards to an exchange, email exchange. So your email travels from one space to another space and then needs an exchange in between. That's where Google and Microsoft comes in play. So you have your email client on your PC. It either connects to Microsoft or either connects to Google. Then with regards to Microsoft and Google, they both have the what's the name? The productivity tools, which is, for example, you get your Microsoft Office, which is Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Access.
I found Access quite user-friendly, but also helps me in quite a bit of my tasks.
Yeah, Access has got Excel. You're talking about Excel.
Well, Access and Excel as well, but the Access part of Microsoft, database. Very amazing. Excel, I've tried to do a bit of formulas as much as I can, VLOOKUPs, all of those type of things, pivot tables, I think it is, and sort of, it takes me a while to get there, not as sharp as some other people in the industry, but nevertheless, very interesting, and it helps when you need to look in the accounting sector or any business that you run these days. Excel's just a necessity.
There are better tools out there, but
sure.
Excel won't go away because people are quite comfortable with Excel and how the ease of use and they are very familiar with Excel. So coming to Excel and Google, so I mean, in Microsoft, you've got Microsoft Excel. In Google, you've got Google Docs and Google Spreadsheets, for example. So it's all tools that you can use either offline, online, for example, and have it either saved locally or in the cloud. And you can actually collaborate on if you're using Microsoft in the cloud or you're using Google Spreadsheets in the cloud, we can collaborate on a document. For example, if you've got an Excel document open, I've got an Excel document open, and I'm typing, you can actually see I'm typing in the Excel document. So that's the difference between Microsoft Office and Google with regards to the workspace. Then the storage comes into play, all right? The storage comes into play, so you've got OneDrive, which is equivalent to Google Drive on this side. OneDrive in Microsoft, Google Drive in Google. If you are new to all this, you will look at the offerings between Microsoft and you look at the Office between Google. There's a price difference between Microsoft per user, and there's a price difference between Google per user. The Google Workspace per user. The nice thing about this is you can also customize it. For example, if you've got a business name abc.com, you can actually have your business email within Microsoft or within Google. So you'll have Lukman at abc.com or Lukman at hilaal.tv.com as your main account, and everything will be tied to that user account.
That's phenomenal.
And so that's quite interesting. And the price on Microsoft OneDrive, the space they allocate versus the space that Google Workspace allocates, you need to compare the space and size if you're a new user, what platform to choose.
And then also if you want to send the same email to multiple clients, for example, you've got a product on sale, you could do it via both as well? Or is there limitations in terms of how many users or email addresses you can send it to?
It's not advisable to bulk email using an email client. So there are marketing tools out there, marketing software, for example, MailChimp, etc., which you can sign up for a MailChimp account. If you sign up for a MailChimp account, they give you, I think, 2,500 users free per month. 3 mails you can email for free. So there are tools for that. More on the Google and the Microsoft side of things, you've got where we have the Google Meet and you have Microsoft Teams. So if you need to have meetings online, in Zoom, you've got to set up a separate account, right? You have a separate account independent from any of the service providers, which is Google or Microsoft. But within Teams, you can select on somebody, actually click on the person's name, either chat with them directly, or you can start a meeting with them. that brings me to the next thing. You've got Microsoft Teams, which you can have all your documents in Google Drive, all your documents online, and share these documents across. And with regards to calendars, so you can do calendar sharing.
Nice.
So I know where you're at. I invite you to an event. You accept the event. You don't. So the collaboration side of working with Microsoft and Google is just awesome.
Yeah, I think, these tools make one's life very easy, but sometimes you just have to navigate around them to find out what's the best user-friendly option for you and your business. Sometimes you don't have to use all the tools, but the tools are there in the event that you need to make your life easier.
No, definitely, they make a huge difference in your daily life. I mean, you can't live without them. Once you get to use a tool, you will see that you can't do without it. So,
I mean, generally we have so many meetings these days on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. Sometimes you can't remember all of that. And to now sit and write it in a diary, you've got to trick that diary wrong. I mean, everything's on our phone these days.
It's on your phone. I mean, if you put in a Google Note, Google Calendar on your Google Calendar on your PC, or Microsoft Calendar on your PC, and you've got the app on your phone, automatically it's synchronized. And I mean, you don't even have to pull out your laptop or anything like that. It comes up, hey, I need to meet Lukman,
absolutely,
for example. So it comes up on your phone.
Fantastic. So, there we go. I hope the information's helping you, maybe make the best decision to actually either, work on Microsoft or Google.
Google Workspace.
Google Workspace. There we go. I need to get that name right. We're chatting to Ismail Kajee, who is our IT guru, chatting to us about all things tech related, and also giving us valuable advice with regards to what's the best PC laptop option to go for to enhance your business. We're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we will chat a bit more to Ismail. Thanks for watching us on DSTV 347 Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for watching us on channel 347 on DSTV. Now, I'm enjoying my conversation with Ismail in studio, chatting about all things IT related. Today's focus is on picking out the best computer and software to ensure that you and your business runs effectively, or if it's just using it for personal use at home or for the kiddos as well. Ismail, jazakallah once again for coming into studio.
Yeah, pleasure.
So now that we've bought our laptop or personal computer and the correct software is now installed, you've given us great advice. How do we maintain its performance in order to know that, listen, this is sufficient for us and it's going to last us for a long time?
Okay. So like you do spring is coming up soon. So like you do spring cleaning in your house, I think you should do the same thing on your laptop or PC or personal computer.
Okay.
So clear out the clutter, which is important. All right. So first things first would be to make sure that you always regularly update your software.
Okay.
Which is Windows comes up and say there's an update due.
Right.
Install the update. Update the software. There's a reason for it. Update your antivirus. Make sure that's done. Update the drivers and make sure that's done as well.
Okay.
As far as maintenance on the actual performance on the Windows or operating system of your choice, Mac, Windows, etc., make sure that you disable when your laptop starts up. It starts up with all the unnecessary applications, which hogs the resources on your machine.
Right.
So when you start up your laptop, you can speak to a technician. And ask him to make sure that all unnecessary applications that you don't use on a daily basis gets disabled. So when you start up your laptop, it's much faster to start up. Then those applications only starts when you activate or click on them. Then, as we all do, we install this application, we install that application. The next thing you know, we got 300 applications installed on our laptops or on our phones for that matter, and you wonder why this becomes so slow. So if you haven't used an application or it was a once-off application, go into the control panel and uninstall any unwanted applications that you no longer use. Sometimes you might find an application that you installed, for example, if you download Adobe Reader, for example, it comes with its own little McAfee WebSafe client that automatically installs in the background or something addition to the browser, and you don't even know you've installed that. So when you're installing an application, make sure you read, okay, no, I don't want it. Yes, I
Okay.
want it. For example, when you're accepting the terms and conditions. So clean out all those unwanted bloatware from your computer, and that would keep your performance of your laptop or personal computer quite fast. Regularly doing a disk defragmentation.
Yes,
That
I do
helps
that
as
often.
well.
Yeah.
Clean out your temporary files and restart your computer.
Because often enough, we have duplicates on our
we go.
PC as
There we
well, and
go.
it's unnecessary,
There we
right?
go. There we go.
Okay.
And then your temporary files and your log files kind of builds up. Ask for advice. Somebody will show you where it is. You clean that out, restart your computer. It's as if you're taking a nap and waking up, giving it a refresh. That helps with the performance over time.
Okay, fantastic. We're getting some great advice from Ismail. I hope this is helping you. Now, I just want to ask, the other day, my laptop actually could not power. The power didn't want to come on, right? And I realized I needed a new, what do you call it, adapter,
A power
right?
adapter.
Power
Yeah.
adapter,
There we
right.
go.
Can I buy like any generic power adapter, or should I buy an original, made for that specific brand of PC?
Okay. So with the you get generic charges, which is much cheaper.
Right.
Right. It does produce less power though. The generics will work if you're really stranded and you need to get yourself sorted out and get yourself laptop up and going. Yes, buy the generic. By all means, do go buy a genuine replacement part.
Right.
It will definitely, and also most importantly, look at the voltages and the power outputs, because you don't want to put a lower voltage than what your laptop or device actually requires. You're going to cause long-term damage on the board. So yeah, I would suggest getting a original replacement. But if you really need to in dire straits, you can put a generic for the meantime.
Yeah. I suppose some people navigate their way around a computer or the computer box itself, but go to a professional to do that installation as well.
There we go.
Yeah, very good advice there. I learned the hard way. Let's move on to printers, right? We often use printers. Everyone does. Now, I need a printer for home use or maybe work from home. What type of specifications should I look out for?
Okay, so printers has changed drastically. I mean, we come from those inkjet printers. You still get them out there. You pay $5.99 for a printer. Like, wow, I've got a cheap printer.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you go and buy ink. You got to pay like $200 per cartridge type of thing, and it doesn't last you long. And the inkjet printers kind of print slow. So when you're looking out for buying a printer or getting a printer, first look at how many pages per minute it prints. Because if you're printing a book, for example, you don't want to be sitting all day waiting for that book to print or 20 pages to print, for example. I would recommend staying away from those inkjet printers because they are very costly. When they break, you rather you you got to dispose them appropriately.
Yes, appropriately.
Just don't toss them in the bin,
but
dispose them. There are people that collect hardware and things like that, and they dispose of them correctly. And then you got your laser printers. So your laser printers are mostly used in office spaces. So laser printers, they come either just a plain printer or they come as in an all-in-one. They come with laser toner. So the laser toner, it works like a powder form toner in there. It gives you a longer yield and you get much more pages. For example, out of one toner, we end up with 2,500, 3,000 pages, depending on the toner. There you get generic toner, you get original toner that you can buy. The generic, again, messes in the printer. So you get a laser printer, which is much faster. So it comes out like that, Once the print is heated, it comes out like that. Then you get the, nowadays you get the 3D printers. Have you seen those 3D printers?
I have. They are amazing. Absolutely amazing.
If I want to design this bottle, or I want to design a car part, or I want to design a part that I can't find for a camera or for any device, you actually go and design the part that you want. It's like a little glass tube printer. It prints it all, carries on, and you got your part, and you take it out, you clean it up, and you got your part that you were looking for.
It's absolutely amazing. And technology has evolved.
There we go. What I suggest nowadays for you would be you get smart printers these days. So I mean, HP, Canon, those guys, they came out with a new smart printer. It's the smart tank printers. So you buy the printer. When you buy that smart tank printers, it comes with a printer and it's got tanks in them. All right. So they're actually made for refilling.
Wow.
So you can actually buy, so with the printer, you get a supply of ink for the whole year. So, and it actually lasts very long.
Wow.
And you get the all-in-one, which is the scanner, printer, copier.
Right.
No longer fax.
Yeah,
Nobody does fax anymore.
Don't think anybody uses fax anymore.
No,
it's probably quicker to maybe drive and drop that document off. But everyone uses email and scanned and things
so I
like that.
suggest getting a smart tank printer. You get the ink bottles, for example, and that ink bottle will last you quite some time. So it's meant to be refilled.
Brilliant. Now, I want to bring you back to the antivirus part of things. We chatted and alluded to that a bit earlier. Now, what should I do if I think my PC is infected, with a virus, and this may cause my laptop or PC then to become sluggish?
Okay.
What are the fixes for that?
So if you, depends on your personality, basically. If you're one of those Google doctors where you go and search for anything and looking for solutions. So basically, what you can do is either call a technician.
Okay.
Right? Like when you're sick, you go call a doctor.
Gotcha.
Right? You go to visit the doctor. But I suggest if you want to try things for yourself, what you can do is try and backtrack and to see when this happened, when it started. First thing we would do is do a rollback on the operating system.
Okay.
If it will do a rollback as to an automatic restore date, that kind of will restore everything back to a point where you think it was safe.
Right.
Right. If not, what you can do is you can install like malware bytes or run your antivirus, etc.
Gotcha.
And that will pick up anything like that. And then also, again, coming back to the maintenance, if you go to your applications or your control panel, see what applications was installed. I mean, if there's something funny over there that doesn't belong there, with funny characters, etc., or an application, uninstall it, restart your machine, run an antivirus, run a malware byte scan, which is for free. You download malware bytes, for example. It will pick up everything for you. It will clean out the registry. Because those viruses, they hide in the registry, which you don't see. So, yeah.
Okay, great advice. Now, what other apps and tools are out there that can assist myself and the viewers with my daily, personal, maybe work and home life? What are some of the apps that can do that?
Okay, so today nobody can live. I mean, everybody's on this bandwagon of ChatGPT.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that you can work on. Give you answers to basically anything.
Everything, yeah.
On task and project management, you're looking at something like Trello and Trello boards.
Okay.
Trello is an application where you can put in all your list of tasks and group them according to boards.
Right.
These are my personal, these are my work, these are urgent, these are not urgent, and you can drag them as you get them done.
Okay.
Right. Then you've got some note-taking, which is either OneNote in Microsoft or Google Notes.
Right.
So on your PC, you can capture in Google Notes or in Microsoft OneNote. And when you're on your phone, you can just go to your Google Notes or your OneNote and refer to it here as well. So you're going to capture a quick note, and then later you want to start sending an email. You open Google Notes, copy it into your email, and then off you go with that. There's password management tools out there, like something like called LastPass.
Okay.
So if you don't want to remember all your passwords, you've got LastPass, which is two-step authentication, which you get sent a PIN. So anybody can't just hack it, really.
Right.
I think they were breached at one point, but yeah.
They're okay to use now.
Yeah. And then your communication tools, which is Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, etc.
Fantastic. Ismail, thanks once again for coming into studio. Really appreciate it. I've learned so much, and I'm sure our viewers did as well. We look forward to next week's edition, inshallah. Have a great evening.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Lukman.
And that's how we wrap up our IT segment on a Thursday. Ismail will be back next week, inshallah. I hope it was very beneficial. After the break, we link up with Shamila Safadin, Conversations with Insight. You are still watching Hilaal Live.